We are going around the state to talk about the problems that got Donald Trump elected, the problems that led Iowa to go to Trump by 8 points. And if you look at the national press, when they talk about Donald Trump, they make it seem like he is the source of all of our country's problems, and we know different. Am I right, Iowa? We know that the problems existed before Donald Trump got here, and it's up to us to shed light on those problems and then solve them to move the country forward.
How many of y'all are parents like me and Evelyn? Oh, a lot of you. That's great. If you're a parent, you've had this feeling that we're leaving our kids a future that is less secure, less stable, and less prosperous than the lives that we have led. That's because that's the truth. If you were born in this country in the 1940s, there's a 93% chance you're going to do better than your parents. That's the American dream that brought my family here. If you're born in the 1990s, you're down to a 50-50 shot, and it's declining fast. That's why Trump won. That's why all the parents feel the way we do, because we're leaving our kids a very, very uncertain, unstable future. We're loading them up with student loan debt if they do decide to go to school. Everything's more expensive, and the opportunities just aren't there. So how the heck do you change that? That's a very big challenge. What we have to do is get the value that's leaving your communities, that's making it so that your kids feel like they have to leave too, and bring it back. How do you all feel about the fact that Amazon, the trillion-dollar tech company, pays less in taxes than everyone in this room? Everyone think, yeah, that's appropriate. And whose fault is it that they are paying zero in taxes? Is it their fault? No, it's our government's fault. You have to be pretty asleep at the switch to let Amazon pay zero. This is what you all have to change. Donald Trump said he wanted to drain the swamp, got a lot of support. I want to do something a little bit different. I want to distribute the swamp. What do I mean by that? Why do we employ hundreds of thousands of people in the most expensive place in our country? Why wouldn't we take some of those jobs and move them to Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Iowa, places around the country? We'd save billions of dollars immediately, and I would argue that the agencies would make better decisions because they'd actually be living someplace normal instead of just in DC talking to each other. What is the number one criteria for Democratic primary voters and caucusers for the nominee? Beat Donald Trump. If I'm getting 10% of Trump voters, another survey said that 18% of college Republicans would choose me over Trump. That makes me the best candidate to take him on and beat him, because you need to peel off at least a little bit of his support to win this whole thing in 2020. I spent the last 7 years, again with Evelyn's blessing, running a nonprofit that helped create thousands of jobs in Missouri, Ohio, Michigan, Alabama, Louisiana, cities around the country. And I saw the tide going out in many, many communities. Donald Trump won, and to me that was a giant red flag. This is not business as usual. Tens of millions of our fellow Americans decided to vote for a narcissist reality TV star and install him in the White House. So then I saw, okay, in the numbers, we're in the midst of this historic transformation that's about to take off. It's about to speed up. And our country does not understand what's happening to it. We are scapegoating immigrants for problems immigrants have next to nothing to do with. So this is why I decided to run for president.